Hi guys, we're flipping the script here. No sponsorship, just a single request. It's you who powers our mission. Join us in empowering founders, business leaders, and entrepreneurs to build great businesses, increase their income, and provide sufficiently for their families to make a difference in this world. A single ask I have of you is to please review and share this podcast. 1 minute of your time could make a difference in a fellow entrepreneur's life. So please review this podcast today. It'll make a world of difference to you, to me, and our community. Hi, Themister Johannes here. If you're an entrepreneur or a business owner or a founder, and you have gone through this feeling of frustration when you're growing your businesses, that life has just become overwhelming, too many projects, there's just so much going on and you just can't seem to get things done, and eventually you get to the stage where you're paralytic, where your days just go by and your tasks aren't being adhered to, your projects aren't being done, and you are on the slow train. I call it the slow train. That's happened to me, and I got so frustrated at that one specific stage in my life of growing my business. I remember I was sitting in my office, closed the door. I said, please, I want no one to interrupt me. And I just sat with my hands, or my head in my arms, just thinking about all the stuff that I had to do, and so many people wanting a piece of me, that everything just started becoming blurry, and I started getting this anxious feeling within my chest and not feeling well at all, almost like an anxiety attack. And I just said to myself, I can't carry on like this as an entrepreneur. And I'm sure there are other entrepreneurs and business owners that feel exactly the same way. And the reason why I know this is because I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs, and I've coached myself through this, getting rid of overwhelm, increasing motivation, multiplying your productivity. Remember, if you want to perform at a high level, it's so important that we need to understand the topic of planning and the topic of productivity. Otherwise, we just won't get things done. So I developed these 5 breakthrough points that really worked for me, and now I been using it for the last 6-7 years. Every time I feel I get to the stage where there's just too much going down, I use these 5 breakthrough productivity tips that really help me move my business and move me, my family, my team to the next level completely, because you have more focus and more power. So let's get into some of it. I've even gone to the length of breaking it down and putting it in a PDF document, and I'm going to be putting the link below so that you can download it and go through it in your own time as well. It's a 17-page doc, but there's little worksheets available within that productivity planner so that you can put everything in there that's applicable to your life. So let's go into it quickly. So what's the first step? The first step is write down areas around your life that are affecting you. Okay, so why do I say write it down and not just think it through? Because something funny happens between the pen and the brain. If you're thinking about your life and you're putting it down on paper, things start materializing. So I like to start off with a rearview mirror. And what is the rearview mirror? Well, you're driving your car, you can't really drive without a rearview mirror. You need to look behind you sometimes. So I look at the past and I say, what's working and what's not working? And I write down what's working and not working. I don't think it through, I write it down. What's working and not working. So to give you an example with me, what's working in my life? Well, my routine's working. What else is working? My diary is working. What else is working? My team's working. What else is working? My culture's working. What is not working? Maybe I'm having a drink on a Wednesday, and I shouldn't be having a drink on a Wednesday. I should try and slow down on my drinking, because that can affect me the next day. So that's probably not working. What else is not working? Well, the fact that I only exercise when I play tennis on a Thursday, that doesn't work for me. I need to start putting in more rituals. Like on a Monday and Tuesday, what is my gym routine? So that needs to be in place. What else is not working? Well, I'm not seeing enough of my family. I should spend more time and put a time available to spend more time with my family, especially my son. He's leaving overseas soon, so I need to spend more time with him. So that's not working because I'm not seeing enough of him. So looking in the rearview mirror is important because it helps you start thinking about your planning going forward and how you need to structure your life. The second area would be, and I've just put it down, and I'm going to be referring to my PDF document that I have here, my planner, is you need to create a winning culture. So remember, productivity planning is all about motivation levels too. You can have all the productivity plans available, but if you're not motivated to implement it, you're not going to have it implemented. So how do you create that? Well, if you're running an organization, I strongly believe you need to have that heat-seeking missile in you that looks for wins, because wins empower you. So go around every day and say, what's one or two wins that I can find? Maybe, like, say for instance, Charlie, I think she's doing a great job. She's holding me accountable to my weekly Wednesday session that I record these sessions, and I just want to compliment her and say she's doing a great job. What else is she doing? Well, she's portraying our culture in our social media. She's doing it exactly the way I think we should do it. So it's looking for wins and going up to her and saying, listen, I think you're doing a great job. Those kind of things, and creating that winning culture. And then the second area would be creating a winning culture. The other one would be get yourself grounded and get back to reality. A lot of the problems and things that we're worried about are first world problems. We really worry about things that we shouldn't be worrying about, because we won't be around in 20, 30, 40 years time or 50 years time. No one's going to remember us. So why are we even worried about it? So just getting yourself to that reality and saying to ourselves, what can we be grateful for? We're grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful that I have a little holiday house that I can go to regularly. I'm grateful that I can travel to my home country of Greece every now and again. I'm grateful that I can have an office to come to and great people to work with. So you can list those things down. It's in the worksheet, in the cheat sheet at the bottom in the link. Please download it and it'll give you more ideas. I don't want to go into too much detail there. Okay, so, and then what would the other area be? Okay, so we've looked at the rearview mirror, which I've broken down into those areas. Now the second one, the breakthrough tip, is brainstorming. Now, why do I say brainstorming? It's because we've got all these ideas in our head, we don't know what to do with them. And if we don't put them down in paper in a specific format, for me, it's about brainstorming. And once again, in the cheat sheet below, I've got an example of exactly how you need to brainstorm. There are lots of apps out there. I don't even recommend going there. Just taking a piece of paper or whiteboard, put in the center overwhelm and put little arrows. What are overwhelming you? What's the things that overwhelm you? Start breaking out into different branches and arteries so that you can dig deeper. Start peeling that onion back, because once you peel that onion back, you get onto the raw piece. That is actually where you should get to, where the flesh is, and that starts making sense. So you've got this mind mapping thing, which I've showed you in the worksheet. Please go down and download it, then you can see what I'm referring to. Once you've done the generalizing brainstorming, I want you to have a look at this whiteboard in front of you, or the piece of paper, or the productivity tool that you've got in front of you, and start saying to yourself, okay, now I've brainstormed these different areas. And by the way, a nice way to think about brainstorming is to breaking your life down into 5 areas. Number 1 is health, 2 is financial, 3 is social, spiritual, and I forget the 5th thing. I'll have to come back to you on the 5th thing, but you get my drift. It's breaking down. Again, it's in my productivity manual. You'll see it out there as well. And break them down into those 5 areas. And then start brainstorming off those areas, and then start looking at your life and saying, okay, out of these areas that I see in front of me, which ones do I need to prioritize? A lot of people have asked me within me, how do I know how to prioritize it? I've got a system for that too. It's in the productivity sheet. It's just simplifying it in a way that makes sense to your brain and saying, I've got to categorize them in A, B, C, and D's. In the cheat sheet, I've got it there, what A, B, and C, and D means, and then you start associating those numbers to those different areas. We've looked at the review mirror. We've looked at brainstorming. We're looking at how to prioritize those areas of your life and putting it down onto a worksheet, which I've provided in the link. And then after you've prioritized it, is take that and put down a one-page productivity sheet. So your one-pager that you're going to do the night before or early in the morning, so that you can take all that and say, okay, out of all these things that I need to do, I prioritized. I know exactly what I need to do that's going to move me closer to my goals and to my life. Because once you know what's important to you and you've got it down on your document, if you've got it down on your desk and you walk in and your desk is clear and you've got that one product page productivity planner on your desk that says to you the top 3 to 5 things that you need to follow up on a daily basis to move you closer to your goals, you know exactly what you need to do. So you do that as the day starts. When your brain is clear, you start climbing into those areas, and that is your one-day productivity planner. So those are the 5 areas that I can recommend. Without doubt, it will absolutely change your life. Remember, if we're going to be building a house, we have to have a plan so that we can build it. You can't just build it without a plan. And this is part of planning. So we need to get on top of the skill. This is a skill that we can learn as entrepreneurs, and most entrepreneurs don't. I was guilty of it for many years, and once I started realizing that I need to put time aside for my planning, that I can prioritize and work things down to a one-day productivity plan, that's when I start moving the gauge in my business, in my life, with my family and my friends. Guys, once again, down in the description, we've put the link to the breakthrough productivity steps, the 5 of them. So you just have to download it and it's there for you. It's free. There's no charge for it. And also, if you like this podcast or YouTube video, please share it with a like-minded friend or another entrepreneur or founder, so that we can grow our community and make a difference in their lives.